Good morning, everybody. It's Brooke with Mrs. Cog Hill Farm on I don't know if it's foggy or if it's just cloudy. It's overcast. It's an overcast day. We had a good bit of rain yesterday afternoon into last night, and everything is just as green as can be and still growing. I just am amazed. I'm amazed. We got some fertilizer put out on the cow pasture, the 2B horse pasture, and the other fields right before the rain happened. So happy to have that done. It's not too late to put that last fertilizer out here in Alabama because we have warm season grasses like Bahia and Bermuda that are still actively growing and will do so up until probably October. But you need to have your fertilizer done by the end of August, and we did meet that deadline, which I am thrilled about because our pastures, they seem to be in tip-top shape. And so much so that Dr. D, our veterinarian, he was over taking care of Willie's foot, and he said, "Who do y'all get to spray your pastures?" And we said, "Well, we don't have anybody to spray our pastures. We've just limed them with lime because they were deficient, and we have added two, well, it was, at the time we had only added one application of fertilizer, and his mouth dropped. He has had to spray his pastures, and we are thankful here to have good, healthy grass for our animals. Now, the pond area is one area that is just not the way we want it, and that's a work in progress. So with the rain that we had, of course, it took the level from being almost workable, I would say, to back to having a little bit too much water in it. So, you know, as these temperatures start to drop, the water's not going to evaporate like it has during the summer months. But I just hope that it can get to where we can do some work on it during this winter and get this area looking a little bit better, because obviously the grass is not, it's not lush and beautiful over here. The banks were all worked when Mr. Greg came in with his bulldozer and roller and compacted this soil. So I've got a couple of loads of dirt over there that I want to spread out and get some grass growing over here, but that's just something for us to work on a little bit at a time. Not going to get in a hurry about it because obviously we have other projects going as always. But I'm out here with the emus in the pond area, and I happened to pun something. It was last week actually. Something that's not supposed to happen. It's a goose, and she's sitting on eggs. And when I saw her sitting, I didn't know how long she had been sitting. She's tucked away under a tree. This particular goose has tried with 3 different clutches this year. All of the eggs I've taken from her, I gave them to Catherine, in which she incubated, and she had little ones over at her farm, but Catherine's packed away the incubators over at G&G. And so I had to make a decision. Well, it wasn't a decision. She's sitting, and I'm going to show y'all. So she's tucked away under this tree over here. And when I first saw her, of course she doesn't want me messing with her. But I said, "Girl, did you actually lay, or are you just sitting there anticipating?" Because it's a little late for goose to be laying. Not to say it can't happen, because they don't really have an end time. But usually our geese are finished by now. So when I looked up under her, all right, girl, and y'all look in her mouth. She's gonna show us her row of teeth, I have a feeling. I'm not gonna hurt you, girl. I just want everybody to see your teeth. And I want everybody to see what's underneath you. Do y'all see that? Do y'all see that serrated? I'm not gonna get them. We're just gonna look, because I have got to show everybody what you are so proud of. Okay? If there's goslings under here, I'm gonna be surprised, because there weren't yesterday. All right, y'all. She is sitting on 3 eggs. I think they're rotten. I don't know that for sure, but can y'all see this right here? She's got 3 eggs and 2 big rocks. And right over here there are no big rocks. So oh, that one's got a crack in it, doesn't it? Oh no, it's rotten, girl. And now I got it on my hand. Well, they're not gonna hatch. They're not gonna hatch. And she's gonna get up. And now I smell like a rotten goose egg. Well, I got all worked up over nothing because they're not gonna hatch, y'all. They're not gonna hatch. And I really hate that for her because she was so determined to be a mama that I said, well, what's 3 more? You know, I said I wasn't gonna let anybody see it, but I also wasn't gonna destroy an egg that had a live baby in it because I didn't have an incubator to get started and put them in. They're not gonna hatch. So problem solved. It fixed itself. We really didn't need any more geese anyway, so I think that that's the way things work sometimes. You know, I just, I didn't have the heart to take them away from her, but yet she didn't need those goslings this late in the season, and we certainly didn't need any more to take care of. Why they rotted, I don't know, but that's just the way it goes. And y'all can see the geese came up to get some feed, but this is kind of like the area that I'm talking about. This is where the tiny house was when we built our house. My mom's little tiny house was sitting over here. This area had a mobile home on it before the tiny house that was not here when we purchased the property. But this ground is very compact. So, you know, it's gonna be a work in progress to get grass to grow on this, but we have dirt, we have a skid steer, so we're just gonna do it a little bit at a time. Y'all know my little dog's with me. She has to take care of things in the morning, and that she feels is her job. So I'm glad that she's here and she feels the need to come and help me, because Jason's over there on the side-by-side. He's taking care of most of the things this morning. Y'all look at the chickens. I don't know if you can see it or not, but they see him and they know their scratch is coming. So they're running like they do with me. But I wanted to show y'all my boys, Rocky and Bandit. So our piles of dirt have been here for a minute. They've started to grow vines, as you can see. And literally when the cast iron skillets came, that put the dirt on the back burner because it was all hands on deck to get those shipped out. But that pile of dirt's not gonna go anywhere. 2 piles, 1 for each dog. And they certainly hope that they don't go anywhere because they appreciate it. Oh my goodness. Look at his legs. So a lot of you guys have asked about the peacock eggs. And I got some peahen eggs from Miss Nancy, who was Reska's previous owner. She has some beautiful peafowl, and she was so kind to gather me, I believe it was 5 eggs. There were 3 white and 2 pied, vice versa, I don't know. 1 of them I took and put up under Miss Snow White, and 4 of them Catherine took and put in our cabinet incubator by GQF that she is borrowing because she did a lot of hatching this season and I just didn't have time. So what's the status with those eggs? Well, the one that Miss Snow White had, she rolled it out. And when I found it, it was too late because she rolled it outside of the stall into the outer part. And she laid an egg in which she started sitting on. So initially I couldn't tell the difference. I thought it was her egg that we had given her that was fertile. I let her sit. Well, then I found that egg that she was sitting on outside the stall, and I said, she knew that that was an outsider egg and she wanted her own. So that one didn't hatch. The ones that Catherine was hatching just stopped developing. They got to a point and it was like it just stopped, and they never hatched either. So I got to show y'all what's going on now. So I'm in the stall where Snow White and her 3 silky hen friends live. And y'all, I do believe that whatever your personality you're surrounded with, you take on those characteristics. It's no different with Snow White. She's with these broody, silky girls who will sit on a golf ball. They will sit on absolutely anything because it's just that's just their nature. Silkies are notorious for being broody. And there's not a rooster in here with them. But you will see Snow White and her little, what she's taken on, I'm gonna call her best friend. Bramble, that's not you down there, is it, buddy? That's her best friend. And y'all, I don't know how many eggs they're sitting on, but I know one thing. As soon as I gather them, she lays another one and they camp out again. Bramble, tell them to get up. There's no way those eggs are fertile. And y'all, I really don't know what to do. I've put a fertile egg in here. I've tried different methods to make the silkies get up, and they just won't move. And Snow White's just as broody as they are. And now that laying season is pretty much over for pea hens, there's no chance she's gonna get a baby this year. I don't know. But she and her bestie, they've got the, I don't know if you call it the best of the bests camped out in here. At least it's not super hot. She's got her tail all the way flat. I mean, she's in the mode. She is in. I have no doubt if there was a chick in here that these two would just both parent it. There would be no way. Bramble. So then I have this silky girl over here in this corner, and she's sitting on eggs. And then the white one, little Aunt Bee, she sits beside her. Their eggs are not fertile either, but they stay camped out on the opposite side of the stall. And I don't know when they're ever gonna get up. If I get her up, they're just gonna lay right over again. They're gonna lay again and do the same thing. Repeat process. You can see her, she's turning those eggs up under her. They're not fertile, girls. So there's no way I'm gonna take the broodiness out of them. They just are, it's just instilled in them. You can't take that away from them. But I don't really know what to do at this point. I just don't know what to do. Y'all tell me what you think that I ought to do. I just think if I put any egg in there, they're gonna roll it out. That's what happened. I mean, it was only one egg that I gave them that was fertile. Gave Snow White, and she rolled it out. So, you know, it tells me that they know, obviously, when it's their egg or not. I don't know. I could put one of my chicken's eggs in there, and it may or may not be fertile because we don't have but a couple of roosters in there. So, you know, it'd be the same situation all over again with them sitting on an egg that's potentially not fertile, and then going through the whole 21 days and nothing. So I don't really know what to do. I know that I wanted Snow White to have a friend. I don't think that she even cares if it's another peafowl. I think she'd be fine with a chick because she's just, at this point, she's so attached to the silkies that she thinks she's a silky. She's happy. I do think she's happy, but so Jason took care of the chickens over here already, and oh, he forgot to turn on the fence, but that's okay. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Oh look, they're almost all together. Do I have a rooster? Is that a lavender? Is he? That might be a rooster, y'all. I'm not one to hatch eggs, but if that's a rooster and I can figure out which egg is theirs, I may be hatching some. I may hatch some. I just love those lavenders. In my last video, I made this dust bathing ring out of a galvanized ring that's intended for a flower bed or a fire pit or whatever. And some of you said they're not going to use that. Well, y'all, let me tell you something. They have definitely used it. It has worked out well. They're over here enjoying some tomatoes that Jason threw out. But it seems that every time we come out here and come by, there is a chicken over here appreciating the fact that they have a dust bathing area in the shade, and it's definitely worked out. I appreciate all your suggestions on how I can keep the dirt and move it from place to place when we actually move the chicken coop around, how I can, you know, make it to where I'm not wasting the dirt. But I really don't care about wasting the dirt because it's gonna end up in this garden area anyway. These are areas that we're going to plant in. And so that obviously has some good qualities in it. They're probably leaving behind some droppings, and dirt's free around here. So I'm gonna continuously have the ability to get dirt, and I can dig it up. And I can show y'all right now. There's 3 chickens in there right now. They like to dig around in there. They think they're gonna find some goodies, and some of that scratch may have gotten down in the dirt. Look, here comes another girl. Oh, and another one. Now I wanna see them dust bathe in it. They said right now we're just digging around. We're not gonna dust bathe. I saw one girl in here one day when the sun was shining brightly, and she was on her side kicking up dirt. I hadn't seen cheese in it yet. I hadn't seen cheese in it. Now I have not known of geese to utilize dust bathing in our experience. They love the water, but as far as dust bathing, I've never seen a goose lay down on its side and kick dirt up on it to try to ward off parasites. I'm sure it probably happens. But cheese or my geese, nope. Where you going, buddy? He is a big goose, you know it? And beautiful. You're a beautiful boy. And it's like a revolving door. Some of the new ones are going in, the old ones are coming out, and they're just continuously changing positions. Y'all can see, there's no fear. Get in there, Ryan. Ryan said he doesn't need that step. He's a big boy. He can just step right in there. And that edge is rolled over, so there's no chance they're gonna get cut. Nobody's gonna hurt themselves, but I tell you, it didn't take long. That afternoon, after I put the dust bathing station in, the chickens found it rather quickly, and they started utilizing it. Now, I will say that a lot of our chickens have began their molt process, and what that means is just basically out with the old feathers, in with the new. It's a process that all birds do, and they just, it's hard on them. So you can add extra protein to their diet. Increasing their protein helps them get through that process. We use Klombach feed, which is an all-around good balanced feed, but if you are using something that's less expensive, you may want to supplement them with some higher protein and some different things to help them get through that molting process, because it is hard on chickens. It really is. And you just want them to be the healthiest they can be when they go through that molt. Their egg laying capabilities are lowered, and all of them are not going to happen at the same exact time. I was just about ready to leave, and it looked like Cheese was fixing to get into the dust bathing station. He obviously doesn't need a step to get in there. I'm just trying to figure out what he's doing. You gonna get in there, Cheese? Nah, I'm not. So y'all can probably hear the boys barking, and that's because somebody's up there at the farm stand trying to take advantage of some of those good farm fresh eggs we've got out there this morning. But I must tell y'all that tomorrow is the last day to get in on the cast iron skillet pre-sale. Now also, Jacqueline has made some cute merch with a skillet logo on it. Life is better with a little sizzle and a skillet on it. And I have to run over to Petals from the Past this morning. We are having a meeting about an event that's going to take place on September the 20th at the nursery, Petals from the Past in Jemison, Alabama. It is a fall festival that will include a lot of YouTubers. And also that nursery, y'all, it's an experience in itself. So if you're able to come, it is being held on September the 20th. There is a website. If you'll just type in the Great Fall Garden Festival, it'll come up. It's, like I said, being held at the nursery at Petals from the Past in Jemison, Alabama, completely free. So we have some planning to do about the finalizing touches of this event. Jason will be teaching a class on cleaning cast iron, and he's going to bring his electrolysis tank that he created in order to clean some old cast iron that has some of that buildup on it. Of course, the Lodge skillets come completely pre-seasoned. You don't have to do anything to it except for to keep it oiled after you use it. And you won't have to use an electrolysis tank to get any of that buildup off of it, because it's perfect when you get it. But he will be teaching that class, and it's from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. that day, the event. It'll last all day. Come meet some of your favorite YouTubers. Just come see the nursery. If you're able to, we would love to meet each and every one of you. And like I said, it's completely free. Don't know if y'all can see them down there on the end, but the hummingbirds are still coming. I have noticed a lot of juvenile hummingbirds, ruby throat hummingbirds, that have come this past week or two. I just enjoy watching them, and I kind of try to look for anything different, because when they start migrating, you could have a different bird, a different species of hummingbird come through that you wouldn't normally have. But here this past week or so, I have noticed a lot of juvenile hummingbirds, which I'm thankful for, because they're more than likely going to return here next year. We don't have a lot of time to sit down, but when we do, this is where I like to sit and just enjoy watching nature. I hope each and every one of you do something that you enjoy today, and that you do something to make somebody else's day a little brighter. Just give somebody a phone call and say hello. Just, I don't know. I just feel that everybody needs a little pick-me-up from every now and then. And it just, if it's in your heart, pick up that phone, call somebody, tell them you care about them. It just may mean the world to them. Right, Rocky? I know. Rocky's so happy to be alive and to be here on our farm, and we're so happy that he's here. So, y'all, hope you enjoyed this video, and I just want everybody to have a fantastic day. Until next time, y'all be good.